Western modernity has an obsession with what I call the delusion of individualism. And it is comforting to a lot of people to think that they're in control of their own lives, so that they are the ones who are driving change, and that it's not really up to other people, that your life unfolds the way you want it to. Or if you're a politician, that you can control the way the economy is going to work out or the way the election is going to turn out. Now, the problem with this, of course, is that there's a lot of different ways about thinking of the world, and one of them is Eastern philosophy, which thinks a lot more about the intersections between people and the relational idea of how we're all connected. Now, I think this is scientific fact. I think we are all connected, and we pretend otherwise. And there's a story that's sort of a strange story that I saw in the press while I was researching Fluke about a person who went swimming off the coast of Greece, a man named Ivan. And Ivan goes out into the sea, and he's not the best swimmer, and a riptide basically sucks him out into the ocean. Now, his friends are pretty upset about this because he disappears from sight and they can't find him. And there's about 24 hours where Ivan is missing at sea. And we all know how these stories turn out when someone is missing at sea for 24 hours. Except for in this story, right as Ivan is about to slip beneath the waves and drown, he spots a soccer ball bobbing on the surface of the ocean. Now, that's already extraordinary enough. You have this moment where he just is saved by this passing soccer ball that's floating, and he clings to it and is eventually rescued. But the more extraordinary part of the story is that when this news made the Greek television reports, there was a woman who was watching the news, and I sort of imagined her dropping her cup of coffee or whatever as they see the soccer ball on the screen, because she recognized the ball. And she knew that her children had been playing with that exact same ball and had accidentally kicked it off a cliff 80 miles away from where Ivan eventually intersected with the trajectory of that ball bobbing on the sea 10 days later. And the point is that, the kids would look at this and they would think, oh no, we kicked the ball off the cliff, let's buy another ball. They would have no idea. But it turned out that that kick is what saved the life of another person who was about to drown. Now, when you think that way, it's extremely obvious that there's an interconnection between those lives. The problem is that there's not some magic that Ivan had. It's that everybody is actually unfolding in this way where we're constantly being affected by the actions of people we will never see and never meet. And the extremely obvious way that we can understand this as well is the pandemic from the coronavirus outbreak in 2020, where you have a single person get infected with a virus in Wuhan, China, and the lives of 8 billion people change for many, many years. And the trajectories of our lives are irrevocably changed. All of us are different because of this pandemic. And it's from one virus infecting one person, potentially thousands of miles away from where you live, and everything in the world became different. So this is the nature of reality. And I think it's something that's a coping mechanism effectively for us to just ignore the science, ignore the physics, and imagine that we are in charge. And this is where that saying that I come back to throughout Fluke arises, which is we control nothing, but we influence everything. And for Ivan and the soccer ball, the influence that he experienced was from a couple of kids he will never have met who saved his life.